Hi, boys and girls. Welcome to Daily Math, day 3 of week 2. All right, so we are going to look at this first box right here, and it is a subtraction problem. So my first thing I need to do is to stack my numbers on top of each other and line up all the digits correctly. So I'm going to do that first. Okay, so now that I have my problem set up, I'm going to look at it. And I'm going to start in my ones place. 7 minus 9. I cannot do that. 7 is not big enough for me to take away 9. So I go to my tens place to see if I can regroup. The tens place doesn't have anything to take away yet. So then I go to my hundreds place. Same thing, still nothing to take away. Finally, I get to my thousands place. And there's 9 thousands in there. So I'm going to take away 1,000. And that leaves me with 8,000. I'm going to put those thousands in the hundreds place. But when I do that, that becomes 10 hundredths. So now I have 10 hundredths in my hundreds place. I need to have some tens. So I'm going to take away one of these hundredths. And when I do that, that leaves me 9. And now I'm going to put that into my hundredths place. So when I move 1,000 over to my hundred place, that gives me 10 hundredths. So now that I have 10 hundredths, I can borrow one of these hundreds or regroup them and add them to my ones place. So if I take away 110, that leaves me with 9 tens, and I can add 10 to my 7 to get 17. Whew, that was a lot of regrouping. So now I'm ready to subtract. So 17 minus 9. 17 minus 9 is 8. 9 minus 6 is 3. 9 minus 5 is 4. 8 minus 4 is 4. And 4 minus 3 is 1. So you should have gotten 14,438. All right, let's look at number 2. What time is it? So you've got to remember that the little hand is the hour hand. So we're going to look at that first. I noticed that the little hand is slightly past the 6. It's not quite halfway between the 6 and the 7, but these are the two numbers that I should be thinking about. So I go back to my minute hand, and it's just a little bit past the 12. So it is closer to 6 o'clock than it is 7 o'clock. So our hour is 6 o'clock. Not quite 7 yet. Now I'm ready to look at the big hand. And the big hand is our minute hand. And remember, when you're doing your minutes, the numbers on the clock count by fives. So we start with 5, 10. So I know when the big hand is on the 2, that means it has been 10 minutes since it was 6 o'clock. So the time is 6:10. All right, let's look at our third problem. 85 minus 31. So just like this bigger problem up here, I need to set up this problem by stacking the numbers on top of each other. Okay, now I'm ready to subtract. 5 minus 1, no regrouping, love that. 5 minus 1 is 4, and then 8 minus 3 is 5. So you should have gotten 54. All right, our last problem for day 3 says start at 2. Create a pattern that multiplies each number by 2 and then adds 1. Stop when you have 5 numbers. All right, so this is a 2-step pattern. So the first thing we have to do is multiply each number by 2 and then add 1. I have to start with the number 2. So that's my first number in my pattern. So I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to create 5 spaces because it says to have 5 numbers in my pattern. That way, I don't accidentally forget a number. And then it says start with 2. So I know my first number in the pattern is 2. Now I have to follow the rules. It says multiply the number by 2, then add 1. So I come down here and I 2 times 2 plus 1. So I know that 2 times 2 is 4 plus 1 is 5. Now I'm going to do the same thing. But this time, instead of saying 2 times 2, I'm going to say 2 times 5 because that's my new number. Don't forget to add 1. All right, so 2 times 5 is 10 plus 1 is 11. I'm going to do the same thing. 2 times 11 plus 1. So 2 times 11 is 22 plus 1 is 23. Oh, these numbers are starting to get big. Remember when you multiply by 2, it's just like adding that number together twice. All right, so now we've got 23 times 2 plus 1. So if you can't do 23 times 2 in your head, you could come over to the side and go 23 plus 23, because remember, anything times 2, you're just adding that number twice. So you get 6 and 4. So 23 times 2 is 46, plus 1 is 47. So your answers should be 2, 5, 11, 23, 47. All right, good job, boys and girls. I'll see you tomorrow for day 4.